If you think Afrocentric education means teaching your child about ancient Egypt and hanging Dashiki on the wall, no, that's not it. And I need you to understand why. I am Elsie Kagendo from Zyami Collective. This is video 2. If you saw video 1, you know I've been educating my children for 6 years. And I spent the first 3 years completely misunderstanding what this work actually is. So in this video, I'm breaking down what Afrocentric epistemology is not. Most people get this embarrassingly wrong. What it actually is, 5 principles that will change how you see everything and how you start today, even if you feel disconnected. If you ever thought, I want my child rooted, but I don't know how, stay. Let's go. Let's start with what it's not, because we need to clear the nonsense first. Afrocentric epistemology is not an African history class. Teaching your child about Mansa Musa or the pyramids, fine, good even. But if that's all you're doing, you're missing the point entirely. It is not decorative culture. Kente cloth on the wall, dashiki on culture day, Kwanzaa celebrations once a year. That is not epistemology. It's performing blackness for yourself. Stop it. It's not an add-on to Western education. This is the biggest one people get wrong. This is not what you sprinkle on top of real school to make your child feel better about being African. This is a complete system of knowing. It has its own logic, its own structure, its own authority. It's not only for homeschoolers. Your child can be in CBC, British curriculum, wherever. This is about what happens at home, where epistemology actually lives. You do not need a PhD to understand. You don't need academic credentials. You need to be willing to remember what your grandmothers knew and trust it as real knowledge. So if it's not these things, then what is it? Comment below, what did you think Afrocentric epistemology was before this? Be honest. Afrocentric epistemology is how we know what we know. It's not what you teach, it's the structure beneath all learning, the logic, the assumption about what counts as knowledge. Here are 5 principles. Principle 1. Knowledge is relational, not isolated. Western education breaks everything into subjects. Maths, science, history, all separate, never touching. African systems say nothing exists in isolation. When my daughter goes to the market with her grandmother, she's not learning subjects. She is learning mathematics embodied in negotiation, economics embodied in kingship, language embodied in code switching, botany embodied in seasonality, ethics embodied in fair exchange. All at once. Because that's how life actually works. Afrocentric epistemology says, don't isolate what you know from how you came to know it, who taught you, and why it matters to your people. Type market day if your children have learnt more at the market than in a classroom. Principle 2. Learning is communal, not individual. Western systems say you learn alone, you test alone, your success is yours. African systems say knowledge serves the collective. You learn with others. What you know has purpose beyond advancement. When children help cook for the family, they are not just acquiring a skill. They are learning. They learn their work matters. We need each other to survive. What I make is for us, not just for me. Mcheza kwao hutunzwa. When children learn with their people in their context, their identity stays intact. Their spirit is honored. They are not just educated, they are protected. Your home is the epistemological center, not the school. What's one thing your child learned from home that no institution could teach them? Principle 3. Elders hold epistemological authority, not just credentials. Western systems say authority comes from universities, peer reviews, public papers. African systems say lived wisdom is scholarship. Your grandmother's knowledge about healing plants, that's medicine. Your grandfather's understanding of weather, that's science. Oral histories passed down for generations, that's folklore. That's righteous knowledge tested across centuries. My children learn from their grandmothers, their uncles, our neighbors, our community. Afrocentric epistemology says elders are primary sources, not supplements, not anecdotal, primary. Comment the name of an elder who taught you something school couldn't. Let's honor them. Principle 4. Time flows organically. We talked about rhythm in video 1. Here's why it's epistemological. Western systems run on mechanical time. The bell rings, the term starts, the deadline passes. African systems run on organic time. Knowledge reveals itself when the season is right, when the child shows readiness, when the need arises in the community, when the need arises in context, when the community determines its time. You do not rush a mango tree. You don't rush initiation. You don't rush a child's cognitive development. My 3-year-old wasn't ready to count at age 2, according to some Western development charts. But at age 3, when she started setting the table for extended family, she could count naturally because the season was right. Haraka haraka haina baraka. Type mechanical if you've been forcing Western timeline. Type organic if you're learning to trust seasons. And finally, principle 5. Body, spirit, mind are one. Western systems privilege the mind. Sit still, think harder, memorize. The body is distracted. The spirit doesn't exist in rational thought. African systems know humans are not brains on sticks. We know through our hands, through making and creating. Our bodies, through rhythm, ritual, movement. Our spirits, through story, ceremony, and ancestral connection. Our minds, through analyzing and pattern recognition, all at once, inseparable. When we make ugali, our hands learn texture, temperature, the exact moment it's ready. Our body learns the rhythm, the stance, the heat. Our spirit learns it's how people have sustained themselves for generations. Our mind learns chemistry, ratio, agricultural cycles simultaneously. Your child doesn't just need information. They need embodied knowledge, the kind that lives in their bones. What's something your child learned by doing that a textbook couldn't teach? So when we say Zyami is Afrocentric, we mean we structure learning relationally, we learn communally, we honor elders as epistemological authority, we move with organic time, we engage body, spirit, mind as one. That's not curriculum, that's epistemology. That's how we know. And it works for all children being raised to be whole humans, not just African children. Because this is how humans have always known until the last 200 years convinced us that sitting in a row Observing abstract information was the only legitimate way. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I feel disconnected. How can I teach what I don't know? Listen, you don't need to know everything. You need to be willing to remember. I am Meru Kikuyu. I grew up speaking more English than either. I went to schools designed in Britain. I absorbed more Cartoon Network than folktales. When I started this, I felt illegitimate. But here's what I learned slowly. Your child doesn't need you to be a perfect cultural keeper. They need you to relearn with them. Ask your grandmother, study a proverb, cook the food, even if you mess it up, learn the language together, even if you start with 5 words. Every fragment you reclaim is ground you're standing on. Type reclaim if you feel disconnected. You're not alone, and you're not too late. Second question. My children are in school. Does this still apply? Yes. School is context your child passes through. It's not epistemological foundation. They learn at school. Fine. They acquire tools, literacy in English, mathematical notions, science vocabulary. At home, they learn how to know whose knowledge matters, what kind of human they are becoming. School gives them credentials to navigate certain systems. Home gives them epistemology to navigate existing ones. Only one is yours to determine. Drop a home if you're raising children with dual consciousness. You come to understand what this is. You got that. Now here's what you do this week. 1. Ask an elder one epistemological question. Not tell me a story, ask. How did you learn what matters when you were young? Who taught you how to know what's true? Write down what they say. That's your foundation. 2. Turn one abstract lesson into relational knowledge. Instead of do this fraction worksheet, try help me divide this ugali fairly among 8 people. Same mathematics, different epistemology. 3. Teach your child one proverb this week. Explain it in epistemology. Not just the words, the knowing embedded in it. Example, haraka haraka haina baraka isn't about patience. It's about rejecting productivity culture. It's epistemology. Do them. Come back and tell me what shifted. Tomorrow, video 3. You are the primary curriculum. We are going deep on why you, before any program. You are the foundation. Link is in the description. If you're thinking, I understand now. I want to build this foundation, but I need guidance. Phase 0 starts March 2nd. 4 weeks, parents only. We root ourselves in 5 principles. We reclaim what was almost lost. This is for 25 families. Some spots filled already. The link is in the description. This is not supplementary work. It's foundational. Even if you don't join, take these 3 principles. Root yourself in this week because your child deserves to know their mind works in ancestral, authoritative ways. Hit subscribe. Comment which principle hit hardest. I reply to everyone. Before you go, Mwachamila ni mtumwa. You don't have to know everything to reclaim epistemology. You just have to know how your ancestors knew was legitimate. You start today. This is Zyami. We root ourselves in how we know. See you tomorrow. Ashe.